Hey guys, now that we have all our drop twos on 3 sets of strings and we've seen them all going up and down the strings in scale tone 7s, let's put them together now so we can switch inversions and voice lead our way through a progression. On the top set of strings, I'm going to first do the 7 and 3 on top. My target is this B flat, major 7. The B flat is here on the 3rd string, 3rd fret, and the 7, the major 7, the A is on top. So I want to come to that chord. As you know, 3s and 7s travel together. So as we work our way through a progression, the 3 and the 7 are going to be switching places with each other on the top set of strings. In fact, in voice leading, certain notes are going to stay in the same position in the progression. So in the B flat chord, I have a 7 on top, that's the A. The 5 chord preceding it is an F7. It resolves down a 5th to the root. Interestingly, they both have F's in them, and they both have A's. So that's what the voice leading creates for us. We have tones in common between the two chords, and the ones that aren't common are resolving a minimal distance. So in F, the E flat is going down a half step to the D in a B flat chord. The C is going down a whole step, resolving to the root, the B flat. It makes sense, of course, that the 3 and the 7 are going to be switching positions, and that the 3 of one chord becomes the 7 of the next. We're traveling a 5th, so what was a 3 is going to go up a 5th to a 7 in the next chord. In the C chord, the C minor, the flat 3 becomes the 7 in the F. The 5 of the F was the 1 in the C. So that ascends 5 as an interval in the chord because we've gone down 5 from one root to the next. So if I go down from a C to an F, the C in the F becomes the 5 instead of the root. And you see the voice leading there. The G, the 5 of a C chord, goes to a root, an F. The 7 in the C chord, the B flat, resolves a half step to the 3 in the F, B flat to A. The flat 3 in the C chord, the E flat, becomes the 7 in the F, which resolves down to the B flat. So we get a 2, 5, 1, 7 on top, 3 on top, 7 on top. Prior to the C minor is G minor 7. So on this G root, we have a 3 on top. The B flat will become the 7 in C. The F, the 7 of the G, will resolve down to an E flat in C. The D, the 5 of G, will become a root in C. The G, the root, becomes the 5 in C. So roots become 5s, 5s resolve to roots. 3s become 7s in the next chord, whereas 7s resolve to 3s in the next chord. So G minor is the 6, resolving to the 2, the C, resolving to the F, the 5, resolving to 1. Prior to G minor was the D minor, the 3. That's minor 7, resolving to G minor 7, resolving to C minor 7, resolving to F7, resolving to 1. So that was D minor here. 7, 7, 6, and 8. D being in the middle of that on the 3rd string, it's 5, the A under it, flat 3, the F above, and C, the flat 7 on top. So that was the 3, 6, 2, 5, and 1. I squeezed in the half diminished here. We can have the A half diminished in B flat, going down a 5th to the D minor, down a 5th to G minor, down a 5th to C minor, down a 5th to F7, down a 5th to the root. Now I thought about it, I thought, well, why not put the 3 on top B flat up here? Just to get started, and then put my A half diminished here and start my descent down 5ths. So you can go from B flat, that's the 1, to the 7 to get started. 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. The progression would be identical to that, if I want to do 7s on top first and end on a 3 on top. I am going to make a different video for that one, I think, though. Although if this weren't so much of an introductory discussion, I could put them in together really quickly. But let's move to the next set of strings here. I want to do the same thing. I think just to get low enough, I'll land on this F major 7. It's a bit of a reach for the major 7 here. We have the 5 and the F. We have the 5 in the root, the C and the F on the bottom, the 3 and the 7 on top. By voice leading, we know the previous chord, the C dominant 7, will have that note as its 3. C to F, C7 to F, 5 to 1. C would be preceded by the G minor 7. Just like here, G minor 7 was a 6 to the 2, in this, G minor 7 is going to be the 2 leading to C. So it's always G to C because we're descending fifths. Always D to G because we're descending fifths. I've got a different set of strings and different voicings, but the chord progression is going to operate the same way. So I'll step a little further. Let's do the 6, the D minor with the 3 on top. 3 on top with the F on top there. G has the 7 on top of the F. That becomes a 3 on the top of this C. It becomes an E, which becomes a 7 in the F. Go one further, we can do the A minor. Let's talk about a different note. How about the C, the 3 in the A minor? That becomes the flat 7 in the D minor, which resolves down to the B flat in the G minor, which is the flat 7 in the C, which resolves down to the A in the F. So there, that 7 resolved to a 3, whereas the 3s became 7s in the next chords. In the key of F, E is half diminished, so it's got a flat 3, flat 7, and a flat 5. It will resolve to the A minor 7, to the D minor 7, to the G minor 7, to the C7, to the F major 7. And just for fun, like I did here, I'll stick that root, the F, out here first. So I have F major 7, E half diminished, A minor 7, and D minor 7, G minor 7, C7, F major 7, F major 7 again, E half diminished, A, D, G, C, and F. Again, we would get the same effect if we started with a 7 on top and worked our way toward a 3 on top. Just throw one out here. If I went from A minor 7 to D minor 7, I could go to G7 and land on C major 7. So I could stop somewhere else along the line here. But let's move to our last set of strings. We can do it in C. Here's your C chord. Put a B note in it for a major 7 and a 5 on the bottom of it. So C major 7 with the 7 on top. That 7 was a 3 in the G7, which resolves to C, 5 down to root, G to C major 7. D would be a minor 7 chord, the 2 chord to the G to C. D, there's your 5 and your root, your flat 3 and your flat 7, F and C. G, C. A minor before D minor. As we saw in every key, A minors come before Ds because there are 5 above them. So A minor is the 6 in C, resolves to the D minor, the 2 in C, the 5, the G7, and the C major 7. The 3 chord is E minor. Just accidentally grabbed my E minor with the 3 on top here, but I'm on the low set here, so I need the 5 on the bottom, the 7 on top. To A. Notice right there, you see an anchor note here. This note will be the same as well. This is the G. It's a flat 3 in E, it'll become the flat 7 in A. I have to turn and put it in my bar. Then the D minor, to the G7, to the C major 7. That was from E That was the 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. I can do the 7 first, the B half diminished, to the E, to the A, to the D, which is minor still, to G7, to C major 7. And again, I can put the C major 7 up here again, and the B, the E minor, the A minor, the D minor, the G7, and the C. C up here again. B, A, D, G, and C. So hopefully you can see how nicely those work, how well voice leading works. We're going to keep a couple of tones in common in each chord change, and the other two are going to resolve down a whole or a half step depending on where it is in the progression, if it's going from a 7 to a 3 or a 5 to a root in the next chord. But what you will see is the concept of voice leading. Tones in common and tones moving a minimal amount between two different chords. 3 on top resolves to 7 on top. 7 on top resolves to 3 on top. That means next we would look at 5 on top resolving to root on top, and vice versa. You can see there's always something more to look at and something more to learn. Hopefully you're keeping up and enjoying some of this. Talk to you guys later.